Hey, so this weekend I sent out an email about shoulds, and it was the subject line was "Do you should a lot?" And it was a really you guys there was a I got a big response from it, and a lot of you sent me replies to it, and somebody asked a question in my Facebook group actually, and I asked her to ask the question in the new private community on Circle because I really want you guys to start interacting with me on Circle because this is where I can really talk to you. Facebook has me throttled back where I can't talk to you. So I'm going to start talking to you more here. So she did. She posted it over here. Thank you, Lisa. And so I told her I wanted to do a video response because another person also replied. Basically, Lisa said, so my husband and I read your email and realized, in my email I said, shoulds are a bad word. When we should ourselves, there is guilt. It's a negative word. It's critical, and we should ourselves sometimes, but we should our partners, and sometimes that looks like, you should go to this party and enjoy yourself. You really should, or we should have more sex more, or you should want sex with me more. You should keep our house cleaner, or we should keep our house cleaner, or I really should follow up, hang out. I really should text my friend more, or you really should tell me you love me more. I mean, there's just so many shoulds, you guys, and they're so negative, and it's such a bad word, such a very judgy word, it's a shaming word, guilt word, and it's very devastating to you and to your relationship. And so Lisa said, what word do we use instead? And somebody else in the group said that, replied and commented that her therapist, or I think she said her therapist, and if she didn't, she may have implied that she had taught to use the word need instead, to say I need. And I'm really glad she responded to this because this is also really not good for your relationship. And so I want to address both of these things because if you're not familiar with me, I have a background as a therapist. I got my degree in the year 2000 and was licensed here in Georgia for 20 years. So I've got all that training. And so I know what we're taught as therapists. And I know that needs is something that we have taught all of you to really communicate. But here's the thing. We've bought into the myth that our preferences and our wishes and our hopes and our desires and our wants are actually needs. And they're really not. Our needs. So Abraham Maslow was this pretty big, important dude in the history of psychology. And he developed the idea of something called the hierarchy of needs. So basically, what are our most basic human needs as human beings? And you may have heard of it, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and there's this pyramid. And at the bottom of the pyramid is like the foundational needs that we absolutely have to have as a human being to survive. So those would be like food, water, clothing, shelter, safety. We have to be safe. And as you go up the pyramid, there are more higher level needs. And so we have belongingness, a sense of security, financial safety, other higher level needs, friendship, family, community. And then all the way at the top is like self-actualization, which is like this, internal self-understanding and awareness and realizing our potential as a human being. And that's at the very top of that hierarchy of needs. In other words, we can actually live quite a fulfilling life without ever being fully actualized as a human being. So we can, that is a need, but it's a very high level need that if we never completely fulfill it, we can still have a really great life. So these needs that we often communicate to our partner, and we say to our partner, I need you. I need you to, and then fill in the blank. Whether that's I need you to hug me, I need you to say you love me, I need you to spend time with me. I need you. You think about your love languages. Are you a words person? Do you need to be told that you're loved? Do you need verbal affirmations? Do you need acts of service? Or is this how you feel love? This is how you receive love, because we tend to feel loved and receive love in the way that we give it. Do we communicate needs in that type of way to our partner? I need you, fill in whatever blank you normally fill in. Really, and oftentimes those needs are communicated in shoulds. You really should fill in that blank. You should this, you should that. Or sometimes we project onto our partner what we think they need, what we think would make their lives better. And sometimes that's based on what we would make our own lives better. So what I'm getting around to say is that really these needs, I'm going to put it in air quotes, are based more on our personal preferences and opinions, our personalities, our traits, our characteristics. And, there are so many different aspects of our personality and our traits and who we are as human beings that determine what we like and why we like it and what we prefer. Whether we prefer to be more organized or more spontaneous, whether we're social, whether we kind of prefer to do things on our own. Are we extroverted? Are we introverted? How do we recharge our battery? All of those things are personal preferences, and there's no right or wrong way to be. Are we more logic oriented? Are we more intuitive? Do we think through logically when we problem solve, or we pay a lot more attention to the way we feel about something when we make a decision? Now, logic thinkers oftentimes think feelings are irrational, but they're not. To people who pay attention to those feelings in decision making, feelings are very important compasses for making decisions. And all of these different unique personalities create a lot of balance in our world. If we were all the same, we would be robots. We would be just the same, but we're not. So when we should, our partners, our friends, even our children, we're basically putting our own beliefs and values and preferences and ideas onto someone else. And then when we turn that should into I need you, then we're making someone else responsible for being or doing what we want. And when you really think about it, that truly is a form of manipulation and control. Now, a lot of you don't think of yourself as a controlling or manipulative person. It's certainly not what you're intending. Whether you're neurotypical or neurodiverse, if you're new to those terms, neurodiverse is, for my purposes, I'm referring to someone who's got autistic traits and characteristics. You're not likely intending to manipulate and control someone. But if you have personal opinions and preferences and beliefs and values and wishes and hopes, and then you are communicating those to your partner in the form of you should or I need you to, then that's a form of trying to manipulate that person into doing what you want. So that's a tough pill to swallow, huh? So how do we reword it? We take ownership of it and we say, I really like, I really prefer, I really wish that. I really wish you enjoyed going to the holiday party, but I understand that you don't. I wish you did. And but basically you're saying, I accept who you are. I wish you did. I wish you enjoyed going to these parties with me. I really wish our house was cleaner. I really wish you liked to have sex with me more. I really like having sex with you. I wish you wanted to have sex with me more. You see the difference there, guys? You're owning what you like and what you want, but you're not telling your partner what they're supposed to do or who they're supposed to be or what they should, because should is like, if you should do this, and if you don't, there's something wrong about what you're doing or what he or she is not doing. The difference is you're owning it. I really miss having sex with you, and I would love to have sex with you more. So start putting more emphasis on what you want, your own preferences, and recognizing that your opinions, your preferences, your beliefs, your values are yours, and your partners are theirs. And when you do make a request of your partner, they still get to choose whether or not they honor that request or not. That's within they get to choose. And you might find that when you take ownership of your own preferences and that you don't put this guilty pressure on your partner about what they should or shouldn't do, then oftentimes partners are a lot more willing to honor those requests. Now, lastly, I want to say, I want you to pay also attention to whether or not you're shoulding yourself. And if you are, whose voice are you actually hearing? Where does the should come from? Because if you're shoulding yourself, somewhere, somebody, or whether it's parents or authority figures or even society or the culture you live in, you are projecting some other entity's belief, opinion, and value onto yourself. And then I want you to ask yourself, is this really, does it fit you? Because if you're shoulding yourself, that means you're not actually doing something that something else or somebody else believes that you should. Is it your partner? Is it your parent, mom, dad, your society, your church? Who has taught you this belief? So this is your my answer to that question, and I'm so glad you asked, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Ask me more questions here in the community. I miss talking to you guys, and I'm glad we have this community. Talk to you soon.